All right. You ready?
Ready.
Okay. Dear Philip, since the first day you hit it off to kindergarten, your mom and I have looked forward to the day we would celebrate your successful graduation from high school and see you off to college. We knew it would be a time of great celebration for us. We also knew it would be difficult for us to see you leave the nest and begin to fly on your own away from our protective arms. We are proud to watch you begin your life as an independent adult, heading out to take on the world. We nevertheless will always be concerned about your safety and well-being, and you will never leave our protective arms or hearts. Our anxiety in watching you leave for us to head to college is, however, not nearly as powerful of an emotion as is the joy and pride and happiness we feel about the many new adventures you will tackle and the successes you will achieve. We have complete confidence in, we have, between, what is it, Frank Sinatra? We have complete confidence that you will continue to push the envelope of your knowledge, dedication, and confidence in order to contribute greatly to the world of physics, science, and ultimately humankind. You have more than met any expectations we could have had for you when you were just a young child. Over the years, we've watched you grow from an infant, enamored with cloth books in your crib, to a toddler so fascinated with numbers that you insisted on holding a number in each hand before you would allow us to take you outside. To a high school graduate whose potential is so obvious that one of the most prestigious universities in the world, Caltech, has not only invited you to join their student body, but also cover the cost of tuition as well as welcome you to join their family as a research intern before you even enroll as a student. Your tenacity to study and understand the world is inspiring and has been noticeable since the moment I first held you at your birth. Your eyes were wide open, whirling round and around the room over and over again. I was so struck by the fact that your eyes never stopped examining the room that I held you close to me and I whispered in your ear, "Wow, you're an explorer. You must understand everything about the world, don't you?" Those were my first words to you, Philip. I will never forget them. Somewhere your mom and I have a video of you opening a present on Christmas after your first birthday, when the wrapper was removed to reveal your present to be a book. You began flailing your arms, smiling and screaming almost uncontrollably. The video made us laugh for days because of your extreme enthusiasm at receiving a book at only 1 year old. It would not take us long to realize that for you, books would become as important to you as air is to the rest of us. I hope you will remember, as you become an established scientist and scholar, how much I personally contributed to your edge of the envelope thinking.
Uh-oh, now it's about him.
I'll take some credit.
You're taking a U-turn here.
My extensive contributions to your scientific thinking include insight on the existence of aliens having visited the Earth many times, the existence of multiple dimensions through which we are constantly transcending, the laws of quantum physics that suggest we are not even here. As you know, I really believe that.
Sometimes I wish it was true.
And of course, the brilliant lessons you can learn from the 1960s Star Trek series. And I hope you will remember the unique insights I offered you when we conducted science experiments in the condo when you were between the years 7 and 10 years old. One experiment was making a high-powered volcano eruption that could be higher than baking soda and vinegar. I intentionally placed too much of the active ingredient in the wine bottle to further enhance the eruption. As I did so, Philip was about this tall. This is a true story. Philip was like this tall, and he had on safety glasses, and he said, "Dad, that's more than the instructions." I said to him,
Dad, that's more than this.
I said to him, quote, "No worries. The nature of science is pushing the envelope and doing what others do not do."
Yeah, I did that and
I'm
laid
not
up on
sure,
the floor.
Philip, if you remember this event, but the extensive amount of active ingredient I placed in the bottle caused an eruption that painted you, me, the walls, and the floors purple. I calmly looked at you and stated, "We just learned a valuable science." Do you know what it is? Philip looked at me and said, "Follow the instructions." No. We just learned that when conducting explosive experiments, always do them in the bathroom. And preferably in the tub. I hope that you're not creating rockets in the men's room of your dorm.
Oh my gosh.
From your youngest years, your mom and I have tried to introduce you to all sorts of stimulating activities. I used to walk with you around the house every morning before I left for work, counting while you were only an infant, actually starting when you were 5 days old, counting the number of tropical fish hanging from your ceiling. We would also count the dots and stripes on fish, as well as other objects and paintings around the house. Your mom and I enjoyed and learned ourselves from trips with you to the zoo, aquariums, science centers, Granddad's Florida backyard, trips to the Caribbean, encouraging you to participate in science clubs and summer science programs, and many, many more. And please never forget your mother's leading your Longfellow Science Olympiad team to a gold medal in an astrophysics category.
Wow.
That was a very demanding assignment for her, given her unfamiliarity with the subject. But her determination for you to win reflected the reality that her willingness to help you succeed, Philip, has no boundaries.
Amen.
It was nothing less than a monumental effort for you on her part. Never forget that. Beyond all your academic successes, I am also extremely proud of your willingness to help others. The elementary students that you have tutored over the past few years, your teammates at SSP, your impromptu assistance to other ball team last year at the regional tournament, and much more. Making friends and helping others is massively important to success as a professional, as well as a happy life in general. Nothing is better than having people love you, respect you, and want the very best for you throughout your life. So I encourage you never to lose your willingness to assist others, always be a standout team player, make friends wherever and whenever possible, and remain in contact with key people you meet in both your professional and personal lives. I love you, Philip, with all my heart. As I once told you when you were 5 years old, you will always be my baby. You will always be the most important contribution I make to this world. I will have made in my entire lifetime. You will always be the highest priority, the person along with your mom to whom you will always be able to turn to share both your successes and your challenges. Encourage you to continue to push the perceived parameters of the achievable and serve as your greatest cheerleaders and pillars of support for a productive, fun, full, and healthy life. In one of your personal statements, I was impressed that you quoted President John F. Kennedy for the words you found to be inspiring. Quote, "There are those that look at things the way they are and ask, why? I dream of things that never were and ask, why not?"
I know.
Kennedy also stated, however, quote, "The future will be shaped in the arena of human activity by those willing to commit their minds and their bodies to the task." In light of Muhammad Ali's recent passing, I felt it was important to also include a few quotes from him. Similar words by Muhammad Ali are also inspiring. All in addition to being the greatest athlete of the 20th century, he was also an important statesman for peace around the world. And so for him, I offer you these words. "I hated every minute of training, but I said to myself, don't quit. Suffer now and live the rest of my life as a champion." And his further quote, which I particularly love, is as follows. "Impossible is just a big word thrown around by small men who find it easier to live in the world they've been given than to change it for the better." Impossible is not a fact. It's an option. It's an opinion. Impossible is not a declaration. It's a dare. Impossible is potential. Impossible is temporary. Impossible does not exist. Great thinkers have always dismissed the notion of impossibility, Philip. According to Nelson Mandela, it's always possible, but it's always impossible until it's done. From me to you, Philip, achieve the impossible, because impossible is merely the problem that has yet to be solved. I love you, Philip, and have every confidence that you will continue solving the challenges, the challenging science puzzles that ultimately will expand the horizons of human knowledge, explore new worlds, and understand better the universe in which we exist, all in order to make our planet cleaner, more intelligent, more humane, and safer for all that inhabit it for centuries to come. I love you, Philip. Dad.
Oh, that was